scores! Sends the one-timer, scores!
Great save made by Gustafsson.
Right here, what an awesome pass through the slot, onto the stick of Batherson.
Kachuk in tight up, let's get going, scores! Brady Kachuk wins it in overtime for Ottawa.
Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon and I am your host. Today we have some breaking news out of the nation's capital as the Ottawa Senators today have extended RFA defenseman Erik Brannstrom to a 1-year, $900,000 contract extension. This leaves Ottawa around $7 million left in cap space, and I am a little shocked that Brannstrom didn't make over $1 million on this extension. I would have expected he would command roughly to $1 to $1.2 million, but hey, I'll talk about it in a minute or two, but this is a good deal for both sides. But going back to the cap space situation, Ottawa has roughly $7 million left in cap space, so plenty of room for the rest of the season, but they do have one player remaining to be extended. That, of course, is Alex Formenton, and we all know what's happening with that. He's currently, well, not he, but Team Canada from the 2018 World Juniors are currently being investigated for a sexual assault allegation, so because of that, we really don't know what's going to happen with Alex Formenton. We'll have to see what happens with that. But going back to Erik Brannstrom, last season, he produced 14 points in 53 games played with the Ottawa Senators last year, so certainly not the point totals we were expecting when we traded for Brannstrom a few years back, I guess now, for Mark Stone. We were told he was going to be basically like a generational defenseman to replace Erik Karlsson. Not really doing that yet, but he should have opportunity to do that this year because this is a proven contract for Erik Brannstrom. If he doesn't perform this season, it could really be his last with Ottawa and this entire organization. When Bruce Garriock joined our show a couple weeks ago, he mentioned that Erik Brannstrom was looking for multiple years on his upcoming extension. Now, of course, as we just saw, he did not get that multiple year contract extension. Instead, he has to prove that he's worth that term as Ottawa gave him that 1 year. So it's a good deal for both parties because it's up to Erik Brannstrom to really see or really to make the case about whether or not he's worth keeping around for a long time and, more importantly, worth a long-term commitment in terms of multiple-year contract extension. It's all up to Brannstrom. The Senators are more than happy to keep him around long-term if he's worth keeping around. We gave up a lot to get Erik Brannstrom. Do not forget that. Mark Stone, quality player, if not more than quality. Superstar player to give up for Erik Brannstrom. So because of that, of course, Ottawa would love to keep Brannstrom around, but it's up to him and his play to dictate whether that happens or not. And look, there's lots of opportunity for him on this blue line with so many question marks surrounding it. So there's certainly an opportunity here for Erik Brannstrom to really, really bet on himself here and prove his case to the Ottawa Senators. And based off of head coach DJ Smith's comments earlier this week on TSN 1200, here's what I think the D pairing situation will look like going into this upcoming season. The first pairing will be Chabot and Zub, which I'm not too ecstatic about purely because I would have loved to see Zub with Sanderson. I think Zub would really help insulate Sanderson and let him play his game and develop into his game without rushing him or, it would just solidify him basically. Chabot's such a good player, he can really play with anyone. But Chabot and Zub, which is also elite because Zub and Chabot are going to be great together. Sanderson and Hamonic. Hamonic is solid, should help Sanderson enough. And then the third pairing here, I have Holden on the left side and Brannstrom on the right side. Now, keep in mind that Erik Brannstrom can play both sides. I do believe he prefers to play on the right side anyways, so that would be good to see. Also, Nick Holden's a little older, and I think it would probably be best to have Nick Holden remain on his, proper side. And the seventh defenseman here will be Nikita Zaitsev, purely because he hasn't been traded yet. It's very possible in the next month he is traded. We will see if he is traded. A guy like Dylan Hetherington or, Jacob Larson, we just brought in on a two-way deal. One of those guys can probably fill in as that seventh defenseman. So the best case scenario for Erik Brannstrom this year is this. He gets opportunities in Ottawa's top four on either side. Really depends on what happens with Jake Sanderson and Travis Hamonic, while also playing consistent power play 2 minutes on the second power play wave. If he gets those minutes, he'll produce. Last year, almost half of his points came on the power play. 6 of them came on the power play last year. And he's a good puck mover too, Erik Brannstrom. Yeah, he's not the biggest guy. Yeah, he's not a goal scorer, but he has great hands and he has a good knack to find people. So Brannstrom on the power play would definitely produce, and this is a best case scenario for Erik Brannstrom. The worst case scenario is he falls out of Ottawa's top 6 and is used as depth and nothing more and has moved on after this season, which of course I don't want to see happen. Once again, we gave up a lot for this guy. Would love to see him stick around long term. I definitely think he has some good potential left. Is he a generational talent? Probably not. Could he be a top 4 guy? Definitely, especially with his offensive abilities. So if he could just improve his defensive abilities, I think he can definitely be a solidified NHL defenseman for quite a long time. We all know he has the offensive abilities, as I just said. It's up to his defensive abilities and physical abilities. Look, defensively, he's sometimes getting beat. Sometimes he gets lost in the zone and loses his man. Physically, he's always getting crunched into the boards and getting hurt. And he's 5'9", 5'10", not the biggest guy. And for a defenseman, that's always tough, of course. But his offensive abilities and skating abilities usually helps neutralize that. But when he's getting crunched into the boards, he's getting hurt a lot. So I don't really know what goes into fixing that. I'm not a professional hockey player. But if he can find a way to take a hit better and maybe put on some muscle too, just so he doesn't get hurt as much, I think that'd be better, not only for his long-term output for the Sens, but for his entire NHL career as a whole. But once again, welcome back, Erik Brannstrom. I think he has a lot of potential still. We traded a lot for him, but I still think he's a lot of potential. He definitely has a chance to really make a dent into Ottawa's top 4 this year. There's a lot of, moving parts, so he can definitely fight his way into there in camp, preseason, and of course the beginning of the season. So the first month of October, the first month of the season, that is a big month for Erik Brannstrom. We know DJ Smith is a loyal coach. He plays players, he's loyal to them, and he usually sticks with the players that he's loyal to. Brannstrom has to earn DJ Smith's loyalty early on in the season. He did last year at parts. Let's see if he can do it again. So besides that, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this contract extension. Is it too short, or did you rather see Brannstrom get traded? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens Go.